Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Dare Lines where we are playing more Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did something. I'm pretty sure we just did the botanist questline. And today we're gonna go and be doing the fishing questline. For Stormblood, of course. Ah, Lynn, just the woman I wanted to see. It's about the Guildmaster. He's been acting a bit... wait for it now. Fishy of late. How so, you ask? Well, first of all, he hasn't been seen chasing skirts at the wench for nearly a whole week now. What's more, word has it, he has been skulking in and out of the city at the strangest hours, tiptoeing around as if he's afraid of being seen. It's not like the man ever does any work around here, but he is the face of the guild. Wouldn't be good for business if he got himself caught up in anything untoward. Next time you're down in Fisherman's Bottom, mayhap you could pay him a visit and see what's what. Wabalago, what are you doing? What are you wabalagging? Wabalago, wing. Well, bash me in the head with a bucket of barnacles if it isn't Lynn, second most skillful fisher in our fair realm. To what do I owe the pleasure of your presence today? Sisyphu's onto me, you say? But how could that be? Is it possible that I am not as sly, stealthy, and surreptitious as I thought? Don't answer that. Old Wabalago is adult enough to admit it, when he's been apprehended in the act. Fact is, I found a new friend who's been picking my brain for advice regarding a particularly puzzling predicament. Truth be told, I was just thinking of tramping over to the God's Crypt to meet him now. I think he'd also be agog to make your acquaintance as well. If, of course, you would be averse to accompanying me. Well, I suppose that settles it. Just do your friend Wabalago one favor. Stop by the guild and tell Sisyphu there's no cause for concern. And, don't mention much more than that. Girl's got enough gnawing at her mind. Mind with the guild's going on, I reckon. Run. So Wabalago says it's fine, but he can't or won't say any more than that. Forgive me if I don't that doesn't particularly inspire me with confidence. Well, if nothing else, I suppose I'll have you around to make sure he doesn't get into anything over his head. You will keep an eye on him for me, won't you? Of course you will. Do I still have... yeah, I still have versatile lore in me. Good. Very good. Very good. I'm sorry. Ah, there's the lass I was looking for. Now all we need to do is find... Psst, Wabalago, what is the meaning of this? Who is this strange shore walker? Get a grip now, Gov. This is Lynn, a fast friend, and one of the most accomplished anglers in Eorzea. I reckon she'd be just the person to help me puzzle out our little predicament. This is Gav. We met fishing, or rather, I was doing the fishing, and he was more accidentally attaching his lower lip to my lure. I can tell what you're thinking. A fisherman and a Sahagin make for bizarre bedfellows, and it's true. We were tearing at each other's throats at first, but once we delved into a discussion of our love for the ocean deep, we became keenly conscious of just how much we have in common. You see, Gav here is searching for a stunningly spectacular specimen of fish, which has distressingly disappeared from the seas of Lanache. The shooting star of the sea, that's what the Sahagin have termed it in their tongue. Gav says that seeing whole schools of them sail through the sea with their scintillating scarlet scales is a spectacle of blissful beauty. It's a sight all the more precious because of their penchant for only appearing in particular seasons. Gav reckons that they are a roaming species that migrates after mating season to lay their eggs and nurture their newborns. At least they were before they just packed up and puttered off to God knows where. Gav here wasn't going to take the matter reclining on his rear. My clutch mates insist that it is simply the way of nature, that the fish have simply died out or found a more desirable habitat. This I cannot accept. And so I embarked on a journey. I scoured the far reaches of the realm's seas, where the shooting stars once appeared in abundance, and I found a single fishing line with an inviting lure at its tip, Next thing I knew, I was reeled in by Master Walago there. At first, I was ready to gut him for having stolen such a beautiful creature from us. He assured me that he had done nothing of the sort. Agonizes me to admit as much, but to tell the truth, I've never even laid my lookers on one of those shooting stars. But if they're half as handsome as a sight as Goff says, it'll be a sorry shame if we swallowed this supposition of their demise without doing our due diligence. At the same time, I'm the guildmaster, and I can't very well go gallivanting off to every far-flung frontier of the realm where Sitsipu does all the dirty work, so I decided to avail myself of the aid of my most astute assistant, that'd be Lid. Forgive me if I'm skeptical, Master Wawalago. Well, I know of your own knowledge of the seas is second to none. I do not know this Soulwalker from the scales of my back. Give me one good reason why I should trust her. I'm telling you, Lynn's as fine a fisher as anyone I've ever had the pleasure of calling my protege. What's more, she's fast friends with some of your kind. Or haven't you heard? If anyone can find this fish of yours, it's her. Sure, if you would speak so highly of her, then I suppose I have no reason to object. And with that, I will return to the search. Now you have it, Lynn. Ready to rove and ramble the seas of the realm in search of this slippery shooting star? Because I most assuredly am. But first, first I'd make a brief and fleeting foray back to the fisherman's bar. Sisyphus like to get suspicious if I sneak away for much longer. Talking about me as if you can't trust me with fish. I caught all the big fish. On another character, but I caught all the big fish. I am a masturbator. I know what I said. That was a pretty good joke. So we recently started doing UCOB, and there's somebody who needs to bait a lot of attacks, and we just call him the masturbator. Which you know, it's a dumb joke, but man, is it amusing. Ah, there you are, Lynn. We can exhale easy. I'm pleased as punch to say that I was slipped back via a side street and Sisyphus was none the smarter. On the subject of Sisyphus, I've been meaning to explain and elucidate just why I'm worried of telling the girl the truth behind this latest little lark of ours. Don't tell her, dear girl, I indulged you in this. Indulged? No, divulged this to you, sorry. But truth be told, her village was set upon by a suitably savage group of Sahagin when she was just a little lass. I'm sure she and Gov would get on great if they got to know each other, but for the time being I'm disinclined to drudge up any disquieting memories. You understand, yes? And so you'll be dealing with me directly for this particular duty. Firstly, I intend to do a little investigating into what this so-called shooting star is called in the common tongue. In the meantime, might I propose that you treat yourself to a soothing spot of fishing? Ah, Lynn, thank goodness you're here. Goff's gone off again, this time to Giribania. We had a rendezvous regarding my research into the disappearance of the school of scarlet fish when a look of realization swept across his scaly face. He dashed away, and I could scarcely ask what was the matter before he shouted one word and dove into the deep waters. Of the Veladina, that is. As you know, the Veladina River rushes rapidly through the ravines of Giribania. While I am not privy to the particulars of his epiphany, he appears determined to cross that dangerous divide. The region may have been emancipated from the Empire's control, but that doesn't mean that people won't brandish their battle arms against a brash beastman from beyond the border. You must track him down before he gets into trouble. Young Goff's got guts, I'll give him that. And it may take more than one angler to reel him in if he gets rowdy. I've contacted our cohorts in Curthis, and they've consented to send an apt acquaintance to accompany you. We've preemptively planned a powwow at Pike Falls. Now fly, friend, and fetch Goff back before he finds himself in a frying pan. Figurative or otherwise. A rousing reunion. I'm so aroused. Yes. Yeah, no, thanks. I really get aroused from fishing. Some people may be disinclined to believe me saying that, but it's true. Well, if it isn't Lynn, angler extraordinaire. How fare you these days? And Solomon mentioned that you were in need of a deft hand, and as he is tangled up as usual in his struggle for succession, I took it upon myself to accompany you on this little escapade. Ah, yes, the Sahagin fellow. We just made each other's acquaintance. I saw a large shadow swimming beneath the surface of the Veladina, and when I cast my line, I found him on the other end of it. I was rather surprised to see a beastman so far from home. And what's more, one that took the bait. Primal instinct, I suppose. It would seem he got it in his head that this river is polluted with cerulean runoff. Wait. It would seem he got it in his head that this river is polluted with cerulean runoff. He's been swimming to and fro for the god knows how long, trying to find the source. Like as not, he's right by the pollution. There's no shortage of imperial structures in these parts, after all. But as I've been trying to tell him, I'm all but certain it's entirely unrelated to the disappearance of his beloved shooting stars. For you see...
What could defenders know of the rivers and seas? There's only one shore walker I know with the authority to speak of such matters, and his name is Wabalaga.
Stubborn little bugger, isn't he? He won't listen to a word I say. I've tried to explain to him countless times that me and my fellow fishing enthusiasts are every bit Wawalaga's equal when it comes to knowledge of the waters. But to no avail.
Sure, the day that the Sahagin heeds the counsel of a shore walker on such matters is the day the seas dry up.
Is that so? Then we'll just have to prove here and now that we are worth the salt. Or salt, sorry. To that end, I would propose a contest. As you may know, the deep Veladina carp inhabits these waters. If we can reel in 3 before you can spear the same number, you'll agree that our angling acumen is the equal of your own. Do we have a deal? Well, he certainly took the bait easily enough. Alright, I'm counting on you, Lynn. Go catch us 3 big ones. You thought I'd be doing the fishing. Perish the thought. Going up against a spearfishing of a Sahagin isn't something I like my chances with. You're far more capable than I. Don't worry though, if I'm right, our friend is likely to resort to the same methods he uses in salt water fishing, as that's all he knows. But we both know that the appropriate angling techniques differ from river to river and sea to sea. Use this to your advantage, and Godspeed. Right, so now I need to catch 3 Veladina carp, which I suppose I can probably just enable to fish, no bait specified. There we go. I'm pretty dang sure that I can get this fish by just using a versatile lure. I don't know which it is, but man, I haven't fished in so long, Jesus Christ. Basically, once I finished catching all the big fish, I just kind of gave fishing a rest for the most part. Well, there you go. I may as well do just an identical cast, I guess. Could just get another one. Wait, that was a Veladina salmon. Shit. Well, anyway, my friends, I'm going to be right back because this is pure RNG, and we'll just have to see when I get the Veladina carp. Alright, so what I've learned is that there's 2 fish in this thing. I'm going to use a versatile lure in any case. There's 2 fish that have a weak bite. One of them is like a little crab boy, like a blood sipper. If you basically if you catch this, you just use a surface slap and then wait for a weak bite again, and that's going to be the deep Veladina carp. As I expected, Goff is having difficulties adapting to freshwater fishing. Even the water itself seems to be irritating his skin. Still, we mustn't underestimate him. Hurry up and catch those fish. Or catch those carp. This variety of Veladina carp is not named for the deep river pools in which it hides it from predators, but the dark coloring of its skin. Fine work as always. You never cease to amaze with how quickly you assess the swimming patterns of your prey, even in unfamiliar waters. Let's call Goff back and settle this once and for all. Well, would you look at this? Lynn cast, hooked and reeled in 3 carps before you even set your sights on a single one. How does it feel to lose a land dweller, Goff?
Sure, did not expect fishing in freshwater to be so arduous. For a shore walker like you to outfish a Sahagin, there are no words to express my shame.
Maybe now you've realized there's some worth to what we have to say. Now, shall we return to the topic of the shooting stars?
Sure, a capable fisherman you may be, but I've already found my answer. Shooting stars have disappeared because this river has been sullied by the ceruleum spilling out into its waters.
And if you would let me finish a sentence for just once, I would tell you this isn't so. Why, your prized fish aren't even native to this river. I've discovered beyond a shadow of a doubt that they hail from further to the east. You see, I came to these parts for business. As Lynn knows, my true profession is to ensure that my clients' enemies sleep with the fishes. In my spare time, I took a liking to reeling in those fish. Needless to say, I often have occasion to chat with the locals about their favorite fishing spots. So I asked around based upon information relayed to me by Wawalago, pressing anglers for eastern lands on the whereabouts of fish resembling the shooting star's description. I was able to gather that there are indeed massive schools of bright scarlet fish measuring 60 ilms in length, swimming in the waters near the Isle of Thavnair in the Near East. And so I...
For 60 ilms? There's no shooting stars. The fish in my clutch so cherished dwarf even you in size, Storewalker.
Let me finish for once, would you? Furthermore, in East Othard I found fish of the selfsame appearance as those in Thavnair, red as blood, but this time a mere 20 ilms in length.
It all makes sense now. The shooting stars my clutch saw were fully grown. They begin life in the Far East as slight hatchlings, gradually growing to gargantuan sizes as they journey to the west.
That's what I've been trying to tell you from the start. If the numbers that embark on that rite of passage have dwindled to all but nothing, it stands to reason that whatever happened in the vicinity of their spawning beds. That said, we still have a lot of ground and water to cover before we can fully ascertain just where their nursery is located. While the fishers of the east have seen fish fitting the description of the shooting stars, they were no more knowledgeable about where those fish originate than we are. Thankfully, I've already managed to establish good reports with the anglers in these parts. Would you be so kind as to return to Lanash to give Master Awalago a report at length while I ask about in search for future clues? Jeez. I'll be in touch as soon as I can find a lead to go on. And you there, I do hope you've learned your lesson about underestimating the talents of shore walkers. Try to avoid jumping to conclusions next time you eat, won't you?
Sure, loafers, I am to admit it, she is right. Forgive me for my arrogance, shore walker. You can assure Master Awalago that you will have my ear in the future. I thank you for your aid.
Let's... Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it sounds like you and this Reyna bird battered and buried Goff's bravado. Let's expect nothing less from one of the most promising piscators Eorzea has to offer. That Reyna sounds like quite a lass, and nothing gets the heart beating faster than a bonny baitcaster with a basket of bream, eh? If you're keen on women in waiters. If you say so. Oh, a woman after my own heart. A shame this Reyna doesn't frequent these parts more often. I can provide her with pointers on perfecting her fishing posture. Yes, just like so. Don't give me that grimace. Old Awalago may be beyond his courting years, but like any Lanosian wine, my appeal is only augmented with age. Anyways, so you say our lovely lady will drop us a line by Link Pearl when she has a lead for us? Superb! I'll practice my powers of passionate persuasion in the meantime. Why don't you hone your casting hand at one of your favorite fishing holes in the meanwhile? Give me your money. Give me your fucking money. In testing new waters as a fisher, you have learned Mooch 2. So, Mooch 2 is a glorious ability. For it allows you to... It does have like a recast time of 180 seconds. However, in that time, you can just mooch a fish that is not of large size. Which is really fucking awesome. That is a really useful ability in a lot of different situations. Lynn, I have auspicious news. Auspicious indeed for the ravishing, or so I reckon. Reyna has ascertained to the site of the shooting star's spawning bed. It is just as you thought. After they hatch, the red rovers ride the raging currents of the ruby sea that rush from east to west. So it is that they eventually emerge on the edge of Lanash. Of course, the moment I mentioned this mote of information to Goff, he marched right to the coast, saying he had a mission to make for the Ruby Sea. While I appreciate his ardor, I do hope he doesn't intend to swim all the way there. After all, it takes schools of shooting stars twice his size quite some time to span the distance, and they have a current to carry them along. Meanwhile, Reyna herself did the sensible thing by setting out on a sailing vessel. Ah, how I yearn to travel to exotic locales yonder, like you young ones. But any sudden sabbaticals would be strikingly suspicious, especially to the ever-skeptical Sissy-poo. And you wrote, Reyna sails the seas even as we speak. You'll want to seek her out in the port of Kogani. Oh, and do relay to her my most recognizable of regards. A rousing wink on the right eye should suffice. Oh.
Why are all men perverts? Like, all old men, sorry. Why are all men perverts? Looks at myself. That's a little weird. Wait a minute. There you are. Even for a veteran fisherwoman who prides herself on her patience, that felt like an eternity. What took you so long? Then again, it's supposed to be waiting even longer for Goff. I heard that he's taken upon himself to swim all the way here. Although I can't say I'm all that surprised. Anyway, to business. I was able to determine what the locals call the fish that best matches the description of the Sahagin shooting stars. The most likely candidate is known as the Harutsuge? I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Unfortunately, all of the fishermen I spoke to insist that they haven't seen them near the shores of late. But don't worry, as I have a plan. If we've exhausted our options on the surface, why not turn to others more in tune with developments in the depths? I speak, of course, of the Kojin, a tribe of aquatic beastmen not unlike our friend Goff, though hopefully more agreeable. If anyone can enlighten us about life under the Ruby Sea, I dare say it's them. What say we venture out to their port in Tamamizu and see what they can tell us? My boys! Talking fish in a large water that. What will they think of next? Talking fish is a friend of yours, perchance? What brings him here? And you, for that matter. You come in search of fish with shimmering scarlet scales that spawn in these waters and travel to the western seas? Yes, such fish were once plentiful here, but I fear we have not seen them of late. Sure, they have disappeared from the Rui Sea as well, and we have come all this way for nothing. You're a picky one. Surely you are aware that there are other fish in the sea, and far tastier ones at that. I'd be happy to show you how to catch some of our most delightful delicacies. Sure, the shooting stars are not for eating, they are for watching. Or have you never taken time to admire the seas in all their beauty? You are an interesting one indeed. I have never thought to appreciate the beauty of my meals, but perhaps there is something to what you say. I will do what I can to help you find these shooting stars of yours. But know that fish you seek grow fewer and fewer in number by the day. Massive schools once seen swimming in droves in the open waters are no more. If any remain, you are like to find them in the waters near Shoal Rock. For truly, the shooting stars still remain? So did you heard the turtle man, my friends? You must swim to this Shoal Rock without delay.
Eager as ever, isn't he? While I admire his enthusiasm, I would form a more solid plan of action before we go rushing in. Can't you join me at the Isles of Bekolin?
It's a freaking elephant. Damn, boy, she's thick.
As you might have expected, Goff has already plunged himself into the depths below. It might be a while before he comes back up, so Hagen seemed to forget the passage of time down there. But where was I? Ah, yes. There's one small favor I would ask of you before we go off in search of the Haratsuge. Remember, our mission is not only to find out whether they still exist, but also to learn the cause of their dwindling numbers, and determine whether the damage is irreversible. As such, I'd like you to catch me 3 of the immature shooting stars. Yes. I'd like you to catch me 3 of the immature shooting stars, Harutsuga sprags, if you will, that inhabit these waters. And do be careful when you unhook them. They need to be in pristine condition for observation. Will you do that for me? In the meantime, I'll hunt down a proper vessel to give our catchers enough room to swim around. I'd rather not face Goff's wrath if they go belly up before he returns. Right, so I'm supposed to just, I guess, catch them in here? I thought I was gonna have to do spearfishing, but chances are pretty dang high that I'm just gonna be fishing over here, I guess. Wait, doesn't it, like, tell me normally if the catch I need is in here? I think it does, which it hasn't done right now, so... because, like, Goff is often... Where is it again? Goff went off into a certain place. Shoal Rock. I don't remember if there is a fishing hole.
over here. If I can't find it like soon-ish, I'll just look it up. I'm not beyond researching, especially when I am playing. When I'm making videos. Right, let's see. Is this a different? Yep, there it is. Alright, so it's somewhere in here. Let's see if I can get lucky and have it be my first catch. It's probably going to be a weak bite if I had to hazard a guess, considering how small it is. Let's see, is this the fish I need? Nope, it's a grinning anchovy. Alright. Well, anyway, I'll be right back, and I'll tell you guys what to look for. Alright. For catching this fish, there are 3 fish, including the Haritsuga, with a weak bite. So you cannot do this strat from earlier. So I would just recommend cast out your rod with like the versatile lure, and just catch anything that has a weak bite, and you'll get enough eventually. In discussing the Haritsuga, yes, with local fishermen, I was able to learn that they are a type of herring, but I suppose they're more recognizable by their striking color. Were you able to find them? Newly hatched, fry from the brilliantly red Haritsuga. Incredible! Why, even at this size, they truly are breathtaking to behold, are they not? Confining them to a bucket feels like a crime. At any rate, let us wait for our Finn friend to return.
They are far smaller than the ones I remember, but there can be no doubt about it. These are indeed shooting stars. It eases my heart to know that they still swim among us. Lynn Reyna, words cannot suffice to express my gratitude. I searched for so long in what is familiar and foreign, all to no avail. For Lynn here to find them in such a short span of time, it is clear her knowledge of and passion for the sea are without compare. Always happy to be of service. Now, Goff, I would take them to a proper expert, have them classified and examined. Were not, I'll take good care of them. You have my word. Sure, you have more than proven yourself. I will leave it in your capable hands. In the meantime, I will return to the talking turtle and share the knowledge of what we have found. Perhaps he can enlighten us further. I'll exercise the utmost of care in delivering the Haritsuga to Insom in Ishgard. You must ascertain their precise physiology and whether or not they suffer from some sort of illness. In the meantime, I would appreciate it if you would tell Guildmaster Wawalago. We will contact him as soon as our observations turn up fruit. Isn't this exciting, Lynn? I can scarcely wait to see where this leads us next. Fantastic, friend. You've found the ever-elusive fish. Now begins the tall task of finding a way to ward off their waning numbers and see them flower and flourish once more. Alas, do I say we, there's little I can do to lighten the load, not with Sisipu watching me so warily at least. Why, woeful Wawalago can't even partake in a proper pint without her protests, much as peel away to whisper our plans on this little link pearl. Suppose there's not to do but bide my time and mind my own business until Reyna regales us with her latest report. Right, so then we also get double hook, which hooks 2 or more fish in a single cast. Yield is determined by fish type and your gathering rating. Some fish cannot be double hooked. Right. Tip-top timing then. Reyna's mailed me a missive saying she's wrapped up her research into the shooting stars and is ready to report the results she's reaped. Finally, a clue to help us crack this confounding case. There's no time to tarry. Get yourself to the God's grip. Why, even I think I'll even steal away some from Sisipu's spying eyes and scooting over there with you. Why do I suck at reading Wawalago? Olaka has been like consecutively a person that's difficult to read. I mean, most of the characters in the Nosh are difficult to read. Ho there, Lynn. The ravishing Reyna should be arriving any moment now to regale us with a report. Thousand pardons, Master Warlock, but I fear there has been a change of plans. My fellow fishing enthusiast has made for Kugane, and I am here to deliver our findings in her stead. I think this is the boy. Yeah, it's him. Anselm, I thought you'd be busy keeping that barbarous brother of yours from running around roughsod over the disconsolate denizens of your demands. Fucking hell, man. Indeed, I cannot stay for long, so allow me to share what we have found, which I fear is not as much as we had hoped. We studied the sprites Lynn caught in hopes of finding some clue as to what afflicts them, but we could identify nothing out of the ordinary, nor is there any sign that aught is amiss in the waters they inhabit. Well, that's a right relief, yet baffling and bewildering at all the same. If all's well in the waters of the Ruby Sea, whither could the shooting stars have shuttled off to? The other day I had occasion to speak with an angler acquaintance from Ratata. As he told it, he has not seen any denizens of the deep matching the Haratsuge's description in his domain either. Which means that whatever it is that ails and afflicts them, it is all but certain to be centered around their spawning grounds, striking them when they've scarcely hatched and winnowing their numbers before they can navigate their way westward. A remarkable deduction, from one who has scarce left Fisherman's Bottom of late, if I have heard true. If only you could travel to the Ruby Sea and investigate for yourself, there's no telling what you might glean. Would that I could whisk away just like that, but no, if I don't bolt back to my barrel and briskly, and Sisyphus comes to know I've been cooperating with a Sahagin, there's no telling how it'll torture and torment the poor girl. Leave it to me and worry not. That means more to me than you could know, Lynn, and yet Anselm's argument has a measure of merit. Hawalaga, you stubborn self-absorbed slack with its stupid head. Uh-oh. For all your vaunted knowledge of fish in the seas, you don't know a goddamn thing about your closest colleague and confidant. The last thing I want to see is you acting all weaselly and wishy-washy. So Sisyphus, how in the heavens did you... I followed you, silly, or did you think you'd been evading my eyes and ears all this time? And for all the reasons for your ridiculous behavior, this is truly beyond belief. Yes, my home was raided by a Sahagin when I was a child, this is true. But what sort of ignorant fool do you take me for? I know as well as anyone that there are kindly Sahagin in the realm, who care only for protecting their clutch. Why would I begrudge you lending one of them your aid? If you wanted to take leave of absence, all you need to do is ask. It's not like you to do any work around the guild anyway. Sissy-poo. To think I could be so thick-witted in taking in the thoughts of a lovely lass. And with that, Lynn, I do say it's time to set sail for Kugane. You'll be heartened to hear that I spent a spell in the Far East in my younger years. I'll be on my way in short order. In the meantime, might I ask you a minor favor? Head over to Hingashi ahead of me and engage the local denizens in discourse. See if there's aught you can learn of any anomalies in the Ruby Sea compared to times past.
Now that you mention it, Reyna spoke of a fishing village that once had dealings with the Kojin. I believe the village was called Isari. I can make no promises, but it may be as good a place as any to begin your search.
Isari it is then. Investigate the village and inquire with its inhabitants, and I'll see you in Kugane when you're through with the task.
Good to see those two have come to an understanding, is it not? In any event, I must return and see that my brother has not done too much damage in my absence. Safe travels, and may your journey to the Far East be a fruitful one. Alright, to Isari.
Probably should have paused the recording, but whatever. I'm already mostly there, so that is all that really matters. Indeed, there was a time when our village had regular dealings with the Kojin, though there was much less grey in my hair when this was so. Yes, so there's some 25 years have passed since then. In those days, Asari was known for the Wadatsumi festival, a grand event held once a year. Once each year, Asari fishers and Kojin alike would join together to ensnare a giant plesiosaur that disturbed the waters and offer them in tribute to the kami of the sea, that calm might return to the oceans. When the Guardians came and traditional religious observances were abolished, the Wadatsumi festival now is a thing of the past. Our once close bonds of friendship with the Kojin faded over the years. The Kojin particularly enjoyed a certain fish found only in the glittering basin of Yangsha, the dafangshi. If memory serves, it was a regular offering of this delicacy that convinced them to join us in our festivities. But that was a long time ago, and our village has become much more insular since then. These days, there's scarcely anyone in Asari who remembers what a dafangshi looks like, let alone how to snare one. I hear that in the old days, Asari fishermen would venture out into the open seas in hopes of hooking all manner of marvelous catches. Nowadays, there's little point in venturing far beyond the coastal shallows, where the vast majority of fish reside. Now, as you mentioned, I also recall hearing tales from my father of a festival held in the years past, where we would welcome outsiders to Asari in a celebration of the art of fishing. Though, of the details, I fear I remember little. Okay. When I was just a little girl, my father would invite his Kojin friend to dine with us. He'd bring all manner of strange-looking fish from the depths. At first I was hesitant to taste them, but I soon found out they were quite delicious. But I was only a small child then, and my memories are hazy at best. Perhaps one of the older villagers may be able to tell you more. And then back to Kugane. Kugane! Boom, boom, boom. Ah. Why would you do that? There we go. Ah, to smell the soothing sea breeze with a buxom beauty at my side. This is the life, isn't it, Lynn? Oh, but I forget myself. Did you find out anything about fish in your foray to Asari? A fishing festival that featured the feeding of giant plesiosaurs to the deities of the deep, you say? Give Wawalago a moment to mull that one over. But of course, it's not a sullying of the seawater that's responsible for the shooting star's plight, but rather the proliferation of a predator who preys upon them. Allow me to explain and elucidate. I have some passing familiarity with this plesiosaur of which the man spoke. More fiend than fish, suffice it to say. It feasts on smaller fry, with utterly fearsome ferocity. When the festival was in full swing, Asari fishermen and their Kojin friends hunted the hunters, as it were, leaving smaller swimmers of all stripes, the Haratsuge for one, to persist and prosper. Now that's fallen out of fashion, the plesiosaurs rampage and run rampant, devouring the fledgling fish in the sea before they can reach full maturity. All we need to do is restore and revive this tradition, and the situation is as good as solved. But from what Lynn says, that would require the cooperation of the Kojin. How are we to get them to agree, with not a single angler in Asari being able to catch this dafangshi that they so favor? Haha, trifling task, my lovely lass. If the Asari are incapable of doing the deeds, we need simply snare a dafangshi or two ourselves. Surely this is well within the power of puissant piscators like ourselves, is it not? Reyna and I will go and grab young Goff, and we will gather again in Yangsha. Ready to get fishing, friends? Remember, a couple of these dafangshi are all we need to bring the festival back in faction, and see the Haratsuge flourish. But there's one thing that worries old Wawalago. The old fisherman said there wasn't an angler in all of Asari who knew aught of how to catch one of them. That got me to thinking, perhaps a simple line and lure won't suffice to snare one of the specimens we seek. As I was listening to the locals who shared some intriguing information in response to my inquiries, the ffXIV are said to reside in the Glittering Basin, and it seems they are ever a cautious and chary creature, and few are the fellows who have actually laid eyes on a fish. So I sought out the guidance of a grizzled old angler who said that he was hunting for an ichthyosaur near the sunken junk when he espied the shadow of a ffXIV in the distant depths. If they are scared of fishing near the surface, diving deep and trying your hand with a trident like our friend Goff might afford you an advantage. In any event, it seems the knowledge of the truth of ocean should at least give you a place to start. And with that, I'd best be getting off to the Glittering Basin as well. Godspeed and good luck in reeling in those ffXIV, and I look forward to greeting you when you've triumphed in a task. Right, so this is where we are going to have to use, so the Glittering Basin, near the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft. So this is where we're gonna have to do some sphere fishing, which I'm not sure if I've actually already done before. Why do I have a mail? That is a mail that does not interest me. Goodbye, mail. You've got mail. Right, so I do remember there being some fishing spots over here because well, it's kind of interesting because like I guess the Glittering Basin is this entire area. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. You would also need to have the Truth of the Oceans unlocked, which is something you unlock in the Kojin village. Just FYI, for you to be able to see these little spots. The teeming waters. Right, let's see. So you basically just use the button that you assign for it, and you catch whichever fish there is. Plain and simple. And I'm hoping that one of these fish is going to be what I need. I got some crab. And some other crap. I haven't gotten the ffXIV. The thing is, there may also be... I seem to remember this actually. I think there's like a secret fishing hole in here. Basically, once you catch like a certain amount of fish, there's a chance that it would unlock bigger fish. Like it would basically unlock another hole that's going to give you different fish. Something tells me that this is not the place though. Let's see. Spearfishing in Yangsha. Because this is around the hypersonic something. Wait, let me go and actually check if I have caught all the fish. Yeah, I have. Okay, so it's not in there. And I've not gotten like the message of like, hey, you have caught a certain amount of fish, which means that now a new fishing hole will appear. That is another thing that can happen too. So, I do wonder though if the game is actually gonna tell me once I reach that. If I touch the fishing hole that I need, is it gonna tell me again? Like, not particularly the fishing hole, but you know what I mean. The teeming waters. All the armored crayfish. Let's see. Because there's still one fish that I'm missing over here. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter too much because I think if I... yeah, it wouldn't matter much if I went into... I'm sorry. My mind is blanking. When it comes to these quest fish, they're not in the fishing log. So the only way you would really know it is by just starting to fish. Speaking of which, is this over here? No, this is... I think this is a different one. Yeah, unspoiled teeming waters. This is a different one. 50 summer cod. And I don't think that this is the one I need. But anyway, this type of fishing is really, really simple. So... there are some more like, some more involved things, I would say, to this, like, to spearfishing. One of the things is, of course, like, if you catch 10 of a certain fish, it's gonna make a rare spot open up. That is one thing that can happen. And there's also, can I even...
Can I even dive in this area? I don't think I can, actually. I don't think the water is deep enough for me to dive in here. Yeah, nah. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna be looking this up now. I'll be right back. Okay, so weirdly enough, so I was actually not too far away from this. So you've got the hypersonic, Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft, whatever the hell. Or wait. Spearfishing, Ichthyosaur, well that is active. Wait, which makes the hole appear over here, or what? Have I already caught, 'cause I haven't, I'm still missing a fish over here. So, I don't think I actually caught a single one of those, things yet. Let's go and see if we can catch, an Ichthyosaur over here. Because we need to catch 7 Ichthyosaurs, which is going to make the fish appear that we want to actually catch. But I think it's also gonna just be like, if I catch 7 Ichthyosaurs, it's just going to make the hole appear. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, no, it's not in here in any case. Yeah, let's go and just dip, yeah. Okay, so it's not in here. Which means that there is either another fishing hole all the way in the corner over here. Which sounds like it could be right. My god. Fishing is always the same. It's always kind of convoluted and confusing. And that is why guides exist. Or, well, the internet. We're just sharing information in general. Right, there we go. Level 70, Teeming Waters. Cherry salmon. River bream. Dome and double eye. Wow, that was a miss. Fucking that was a fail and a half. Actually, tiger prawn. The sunken junk. Yeah, that's the name of this place. Wow, I did not know that there was a. It's kind of interesting though, because I thought, like, when I said the sunken junk, I was thinking like, oh, it's probably like the assault craft on the other side, but nope. It is actually a fishing hole. It's called the sunken junk. I apparently leveled up from that. And there's one Ichthyosaur. There we go. So now we're gonna have to catch 7 Ichthyosaurs, and that should make another fishing hole appear, which should have the fish that I need. So we need to catch big, like a large silhouette fish. So what I'm thinking, what we're going to need to do, catch the large silhouettes until we have enough. There we go, yeah. It's like the really fast large silhouettes. We can't just wait and not catch them, but like, whatever. I don't really care too much. May as well catch them. It's gonna give me... Actually, it doesn't really give me anything that I really care about, but whatever. It's the idea that counts. One thing I do find a little bit annoying about, like, spearfishing, is that as opposed to, like, other gatherers, you can press a button to, like, locate your nearest teeming waters or, like, whatever node you can interact with. And it doesn't have that for spearfishing, which I find a little tedious. But at the same time, there's also something quaint about just, like, remembering where the holes are. That's something special about that. I don't know. Ah, shit, that was one I needed to catch, and I couldn't catch it because I made a mistake. As you can see, like, with this one's called, the teeming shadows are starting to take shape and everything. That's the usual message. The amount of fish you need can vary. I think 10 is usually the one, like the amount that you need, I think. If I remember correctly, but man, it's been a while. There's another Ichthyosaur. I need one more, I think. And then we should have everything we need to catch the other fish. There we go. So we now get the other thing. We get the special node over here. Over here? How far away is this thing? Sorry. Right. There we go. Another Ichthyosaur. the Fangshi. That's like slightly smaller ones. Are what I need. There we go. We got what we needed. That's just a million the Fangshi. I get Fangshi and the Fangshi though. That's interesting that there's like two different versions of it. Anyway, we got what we needed, so we can now go and return to Wawelago. Took a little bit more effort than I expected it would take. I think this is the 70 or like 60, 68, yeah. And then we have one more quest to go. And then we should be good for this little adventure. Now we don't have to do like, once again, once we reach Shadowbringers, we don't have to do individual job quests anymore. It's gonna be kind of more compact. The fishing is still gonna be individual though, because why not? The crafting and gathering is gonna be more compact, more combined together, if I recall correctly. And the same with like the jobs, gonna be more role quests, is what they're gonna be called. We have tanking, healing, ranged DPS, and physical DPS. And later on, the ranged get split into magical ranged and physical ranged in Endwalker. From the gleam in his eye and the grip in his trident, I gather Goff's got a good thing going there. I ferry you in your fishing endeavors, draw on the truth of the oceans, and hunt down those ichthyosaurs near the sunken jack. Rumored to be immortal by local villagers, this freshwater fish, native to Yangsha, is easily discernible by its countless facial whiskers. Fine fishing, then, yes, these are the Fangshi, beyond the dram of a dat. They made themselves manifest while you were engaging your eyes on other fish, you say? Curious comportment, indeed. En route, I'm relieved to report that Goff spearfishing has also proved a spectacular success. With this, we should have enough to reel in the Kojin, figuratively speaking, and entice them to engage with the Isari anew. So let's carry our catch back to Isari and convince the villagers to let us carry on with the plan we've contrived. Here's hoping they're just as delighted with this development as we are. If I might trouble you with a trifling task, then I'd ask you to go alone. After all, Isari's only just been freed from the fetters of the Empire, and its residents are surely only still acclimating themselves to the arrival of outsiders. For my part, I'll stay behind and see if I can spear myself a few more Fangshi for our Kojin friends, though we have ourselves quite a haul already. The more the merrier, eh? Why don't you wander back to Isari and share our catch with that Yisho chap? You can journey too and join us in Tamamizu when you're through. My voice is dying. I've not recorded in a while, and now having to do a lot of a voice for a while. It puts a little bit of a dent in my voice, which means that after this, I'm gonna need to stop recording for the day. Which is fine. I've already done like a lot of beast type stuff. Well, 2 beast type quests. Custom deliveries is what I've done. And now this too. It's a pretty good haul. It's a pretty decent haul today. I'd say I'm rather proud of myself. Music in this game never gets old. I would like nothing more than to revive the Watatsumi festival, but the Kojin will never entertain our plea, not without an offering of Dafangshi at least. A basket containing a number of Dafangshi, a favorite snack of the Kojin. Why, these are Dafangshi. You went all the way to Yangsha to catch these for us? I have no words, friend. You are far too kind, and a far more worthy fisherman than I. To think that I would live to see the day when Isari emerged from the shadows of the Empire to reclaim the glory of our past. I will round up the young ones. We must begin preparations for the festivities at once. In the meantime, pray deliver the Dafangshi to the Kojin in my stead, and with my fondest regards. This should go far towards reforging the bonds of friendship that our people have once shaped. I'm going fucking insane. Hello. Welcome back, friend. Goff says you come bearing a gift from the village of Isari. Dare I hope it is what I think it may be? Well, I've not seen a Hall of the Fancy like this in I don't know how many years. It would be my honor to join you in reviving festivities of old. There is, however, but one rep. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm somewhat younger than my appearances might suggest, and my knowledge of the Watatsumi is limited at best. All I ask for is time. Time to seek the wisdom of my elders and bring my brothers and sisters around to your cause. Why not? There are many here in Tamamizu with fond memories of the olden days. Is there anything I can do to help? Need only speak the words. I will do anything to see the shooting stars, the Haratsuge, return to the seas as soon as possible. I too will do aught I'm able to see that this festival is a smashing success. First things first, I'll head back to the guild and gather all the knowledge I can glean. Yet, yes, I dare say that right on my desk sits a comprehensive compendium on fishing festivals from Eorzea to the Far East. There's bound to be something illuminating within. Then for my part, I'll head back home and see if Anselm has anything enlightening to share. Besides, he'd never forgive me if he found out we were having so much fun without him. Then, why don't you head back home with Master Wawalago? And Goff, you seem to be on good terms with the Kojin. Why not help recruit more of them to our cause? Till we meet again, my friends. Back to Lanosha. Or Lanosea, Lanosk. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sure, Fred. Nice one. Nope. Back so briskly, are you? I'm happy to have your help, of course, but I dare say you're more than deserving of some rest and relaxation after all your toils and travails. What say you practice your piscatorial skills while I pry further into the particulars of this Watatsumi festival? After all, when the time comes, you want to be ready to fish, and fish as you've never fished before. Ho there, Lin. How are you holding up? For my part, I'm happy to say that I've housed in my head a wide wealth of wisdom regarding this Watatsumi festival. Are you ready to fish as if the future depended on it? Because it's the future of the Haratsugi we're discussing. I dare say it most definitely does. And with Sisipu being sympathetic for once and sanctioning my sabbatical? Sabbatical? What the hell kind of word? There's nothing stopping me from journeying east to join in the festivities. Now, if you'll pardon me, I do believe there's a certain lovely lass awaiting our arrival in Kugane. Farewell, and thanks for the fish. I will say the amount of freaking money I have to spend teleporting back and forth for all of these, for these particular quests is kind of ridiculous. We've been waiting for you, friend. Master Wawalago has already gone ahead to Asari. He couldn't quite contain his excitement. And just look what we have here. Anselm's joined us as well. Even with his terrible brother wreaking havoc back in the Holy See, he said he couldn't bear to miss it. Truly, the man's order for angling knows no bounds. Not that I'm wanting to talk, of course. Anyhow, we'd best not keep the guildmaster waiting any longer. Shall we be off to Asari then? Back to Asari. Hellslit really does look like a freaking monster. Looks like it could at any moment just rise up from the earth and be a ginormous golem. Am I slower than usual? I feel like I was for a second. Whatever. Whatever. I assume we're all accounted for. Excellent. It's time we got the gaieties off the ground, as it were. Obviously, I'll be overseeing the operation. Our prize and prey is the giant plesiosaur, a massive monstrosity of a fish as fierce and ferocious as any you'll find. Go after one without a precise plan of attack, and you're like as not to get swallowed and spit out a skeleton.
So it is that the fishermen of Isari have traditionally enlisted the trusty talents of the Kojin in a testament to the power of teamwork. Here's how it will happen. The Kojin will pursue the prey underwater, pressing them ever closer to the water's crest. From there, us landlubbers will lower our lures and hook them, hauling them to shore in one swift swoop. The consummate celebration of cooperation and camaraderie between beastman and beach dweller. This is the true essence of this time-honored tradition. Goth, Okimoto, join the Kojin beneath the billowing waves. When I give the signal, swim after the plesiosaur and push them in close proximity to Onokoro. My friends and fellow fishers, when these stragglers stray near the surface, lower your lures and reel them in with reckless abandon. A moment, Lynn, if you don't mightily mind. Speaking with all sincerity, I'm skeptical that even the most accomplished among us will be able to angle in even one of those primordial pristine predators, with the extraordinary exception of you, that is. Yes, if any of us has the aptitude and acumen to face this fearsome foe in the eye and emerge exultant, it's you. I'm counting on you, Lynn, to prove Wawalago's prescient and procure prescient and procure a healthy haul of those plesiosaurs. This will test your talents as a fisher, and as nothing before. Step forth, and may the sea smile on you. Catch 5 giant plesiosaurs. Let me check something. Let me just go and check something. Okay, it's just a raw catch. In where? Ruby Sea, 2223. 2220. No, 22.3.11, so it's in Onokoro, yeah. Makes sense, they were talking about Onokoro, but yeah. You know. When you know, you know. Right. Right, so something tells me that this is a... this is going to be a ferocious bite. Yep, there it is. The plesiosaur. Giant plesiosaur. Let me go and check something. If I get another bite, I'm gonna do double hook and see if I can actually get a double hook on this fish. Although, I did forget the mooch, but whatever. Not like it matters, because fish didn't even catch. Or didn't even bite, sorry. Give me the big boy. If you would be so kind. I almost pressed it. I do have this freaking, like... trigger, like, that's not a trigger finger, like an itchy finger, basically. Like a loose trigger finger when it comes to fish. Which is not particularly the best when catching big fish, but whatever. I still managed to catch all of them, and that's what matters. The only ones that I don't have are the ocean fishing fish, because they're annoying to get, and I can't be bothered. After catching all the big fish, I'm just good for now. I'll return to that later on when I feel like it. We're about to get Dawn Trail 2, so there'll be more big fish to catch, so... So, something tells me that this is going to take a while still. But I just want to hang around here for a moment and see if the double hook works. If it wants to do it while I'm recording, that'd be very nice. I would appreciate that quite a lot. That would make me very happy. It's just not gonna do it, is it? It's just not gonna do it. Come on. Give me the boy. Bruh. Well, there's at least one thing I'm not missing about fishing. It's the RNG. Although, well, yeah, it has its charm. The chase is kind of fun. The RNG can be very soul-crushing, though. There we go. Use the double hook, and let's see if I actually get more than one.
I kind of doubt it though, because this is a unique fish. Yeah, it's only one of them. Okay. I'll meet you guys back here once I've caught the rest of them. Right, I have obtained the fish. Survival of shooting stars depends on your success, friend. I fare you in the most formidable fishing challenge you faced. This is really nothing compared to some other stuff. Few scholars will disagree that this enormous scalekin sits atop the oceanic food chain. Fabulous fishing, friend. But good gods, tales are true. These things are more fiend than fish. But you have felled 5 of them nonetheless. Now that's a hardy haul, if I've ever ride one. I dare say there's no doubt that the deities of the deep are truly delighted with our deeds.
Swimming through the seas with reckless abandon. I've not had so much fun at a festival in years. I have but one question. When is the next one?
Haha, that's the spirit, my shield friend. By repeating the ritual on a regular basis, we can protect the seas from the over-proliferation... Why do you exist, Wawalaga? The over-proliferation of predators. And see that smaller fish like the Haratsuge have a halcyon habitat to call home.
Sure, well, it pleases me as much as any that the festival was a success, and peace returns to the seas. I fear see no sign of the shooting stars. Forgive me, Master Wabalaga, but I would face the truth with my own eyes.
See, the Hagen lad as serious as ever. Why don't you dive into the depths with him, then? Regardless of what he sees, I reckon he'd appreciate if you accompanied him.
No use. Even down in the depths, they're nowhere to be seen. Might be too late. All our best efforts for naught. Behold, Lynn, they have come! The shooting stars! They're still young, yes. Only hatchlings, but look at the sheer number of them. Yes, they will grow large and strong, and soon the seas will shine bright once more.
Nice.
The shooting stars have survived, and in numbers beyond my wildest dreams. And with the ranks of the predator's cult, they are free to make the journey across the Ruby Sea. And yet, in time, the pleasure sword will return, and the shooting stars will once again be threatened with extinction. Must be something we can do.
Fear not, my fretful fellow. We need only see that this festival is held frequently enough to keep the population of plesiosaurs carefully in check, as it was before the Guardians barged in and bungled everything up.
I, for one, would be honored to partake in the festivities any time, both to reaffirm the bonds we share with our sorry friends and to ensure the survival of the Haratsuge, whose beauty I have now witnessed with my own eyes. You have my thanks, friend. You need only say the word, and I and my fellow Sahagin will swim here to join you. You may not possess your spear fishing skills, Lynn, but my passion to protect the shooting stars is second to none. I will do everything in my power to see that the legacy of The legacy you have helped to create, helped to create lives on, lives on, lives on. Ay ay ay.
Man and beast man, united by an undying devotion to the denizens of the depths. Is that water in my eye, or am I welling up? In any event, we've effected a change of the oceans today, a change that will, in turn, come to have consequences for generations to come. But that's a story best not told sober. What say we send for some spirits and sample some of this sashimi that the East is famed for? I fear you're going to be facing more immediate consequences for your actions today, Babalaga. So, Sisyphu, I'm well aware how you worry for me, but you didn't have to sail straight across... Why the frightful frown on that fetching face of yours? Do you not remember my words the other day, Babalago? I thought I made myself quite clear. I said that if you wanted to take leave of absence to join your friends on some adventure, all you had to do was say the word. Then I hear nothing from you for days, and when I went to your usual perch in Fisherman's Bottom, do you have any idea how worried I was for you? Pardon? I swear that I said... Or could it be that I was so absorbed with anticipation that I was remiss in apprising you of my intent to embark on this adventure? But Sisyphu, my sweet, wasn't it you who always told me never to neglect one in need? Till next time, Lynn. Get back here, I say, you good-for-nothing... Gah.
Flee, you fool.
We get increased GP generation. Raise space, GP regeneration rate by 1. It's a pretty nice thing. And that, my friends, is it for the fishing quest line. I hope you enjoyed this episode. She's still smiling, that's cute. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Little Daylights, where we were playing more Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, most likely, considering how I'm going to be uploading this, we are going to be starting with the Carpenter questline. There's still so many job quests. I'm kind of happy that they are going to like lower the amount of job quests. Makes it easier for me to, you know, record all of this. Anyway, goodbye.